Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lumio 2026. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Tracy Dick. I am an education solutions consultant for Smart Technologies. I am in the Hampstead, North Carolina area near like Wilmington, Topsail Beach. I would love to see where you all are from. If you haven't already posted it, go ahead and tell us where you are from. I already see several of you posting. Awesome, awesome. Oh, we've got a Palm Beach, Florida, which I know is where our presenter is from. So love to see it. Definitely keep posting in that chat as we go through our session today. Just a reminder that Lumiopalooza is a free global professional development opportunity led by educators all around the world. It's been going on for the past 2 days. Lots of exciting things happening. A reminder that this session is going to be recorded, and so you will receive the recordings and of this recording and any other sessions that you've taken probably early next week, as well as the teacher files as well. And then also you will get a survey at the end of this session that you will need to fill out so that you can get the certificate for joining today's session. To make the most of this session, we are going to ask you guys to become students. And so our producer is going to go ahead and drop it in the chat there so that you can join our session live and follow along as a student. So feel free, please, to ask any questions as we go in our chat. And at the end of the session, or even during, we would love for you to share your experience on socials. We're doing a social media challenge. And so we would love for you to take a screenshot. So once that gets on stage, at some point during the session, go ahead and take a screenshot and share it on socials. And go ahead and tag Lumiopalooza 2026 or Go Lumio. And there is a little competition or prize that is available. So there's going to be some gift cards that are given out. So definitely make sure that you join in. All right, it is time to bring our presenter on the stage. I'm excited to introduce you to Zach Dery. Hi, Zach.
Hi.
Zach is from Palm Beach County Schools. He is a secondary world history teacher, and he's going to focus today's session on bringing that social studies and history to life with interactive learning. Zach, do you want to do a quick introduction of yourself before we get started?
Sure. Hi, I'm Zach. I'm in Florida, Palm Beach County. I work for the Palm Beach County School District at Lake Worth Middle School in Lake Worth Beach, Florida. I am new to the teaching world. I'm going into my third year, and the last year especially was a really, really fun learning experience. Just getting to know Lumio and how kind of I came about it was pretty much by accident. Is that it? Or well, I'll just keep going. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry. Yeah. So how I came about it was just by accident. I was looking for software to help me just during the kind of the lessons, like, make them a little bit more interesting. I know that history isn't everybody's favorite. I don't think that, but some eighth graders sometimes do, I think. So what I really enjoyed about Lumio was it allowed me to make it interactive. And I know that word is used a lot, but Lumio really is that. I've been able to collect data. I've been able to learn with the students as well. And it really is something where it kind of feels like one big game. And that's what I wanted to show everybody today, just kind of what it was like on my end. And again, I'm going into my third year. I came from human resources, the corporate world. I've always wanted to teach, so I jumped into it full feet. But the other side to that is I really enjoy computers. Just really briefly, I love computer gaming. It's always been an outlet for me in social studies, like different history games, whatever. So I'm at Lumio, and yeah, I'm able to kind of bring all the content to
That's perfect. That is perfect. I appreciate it. Yeah, you kind of went ahead there. I just wanted to know what your experience was with Lumio. I love that you kind of came across it by accident and have just really been playing with it and learning and enjoying it. So let's go ahead and get started. You ready to go?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna take you through. Thank you, Tracy. I'm gonna take everybody through a lesson that was at the beginning of the year that I did, just to show you some of the features of Lumio and to see how I'm able to kind of integrate it into the lesson. So I'm going to go through, if everybody can just follow along with me. So this user interface, I'm pretty sure everybody uses Lumio, or at least even if you haven't, it's very, very user friendly to get up on the screen and get going. So just wanted to kind of go over the agenda quickly. I'm going to go over just how Lumio allows me to mold the lesson into something that is students can play around with and actually apply what they're learning. So, and just making it interactive, just kind of gamifying the lesson, but without taking away from the content or the rigor. And I think that is what I really enjoy about Lumio, is I don't have to put anything aside to make it fun. So, and then building world history lessons using Lumio's features. So I was just going to go through a couple of the activities that I made. It's really fun. I mean, I play it with them, or we go through the lessons together. And so, yeah, I'll start off with what this is one of my favorite features out of Lumio. So usually when I'm building my lessons out, I start backwards. I start making small, just little activities to kind of keep their attention. So bell ringers, this is a great way to get everybody kind of up and motivated. And the best part is you can see everything that's going on. So this is a match 'em up, right? So this is the dashboard and then the model activities. So especially in the few weeks when I was learning Lumio, what I liked about it is that if I just click right in here, I can actually model it out. And then they see, everything that I see. So this was just we're learning about ancient Egypt today. So this was one of the activities that we did. But this is a match 'em up. So when we're going over, this is great for a reteach or just going over and, integrating really necessary vocabulary into the lesson by saying, oh, okay, yeah, this is interdependence and this is just how it would work. And you select the whatever, there you go, right? So, and then at the end,
I always mess them up when I'm on the spot.
I'm like, wait, what's the definition again? So this is that is the match 'em up. So I think if I pop out of this, you can see also, if you're as the teacher, you can see this as well. So you can see all the students that are working on it. What's great is that it's really good to see who's not started. And that is a really nice way too. So one of the things I like about my school district in Palm Beach and at Lake Worth Middle School is we have this Go Guardian feature. So I can see this up on, I don't know, where everybody is, I see from all over the world. That's awesome. Germany, what's up? Canada, right? I see everybody in there. That's cool. I don't know if you guys have that, but basically it's like it's just monitoring what the students are doing. So sometimes, they just, maybe even as simple as like the computer's loading, but this gives me full access. And this was really key with Lumio and myself, learning classroom management, because let's face it, like I came from a little bit of a business world and then being introduced to 13-year-olds, it was kind of it's still a learning experience. It's something that I work on all the time. But the nice part about this feature and just the Lumio technology in general is I can manage the classroom without even saying anything. I don't have to walk around anywhere. I usually post up in the back and then I move like a few points around the room, but I can see where everything is right here.
Yeah, I love it. I'm going to add into that too, Zach. If you go
right
ahead and
ahead.
toggle over the show results too.
Yep,
So
sure.
I, as the teacher in the classroom, and I was in the classroom for 23 years. A couple of those years were in middle school. So I know you've got to stay on top of those middle school and secondary students. So this is a great screen to show up front on your panels or with your projector as you are working for the students to kind of see. And I love to set like, all right, if we get a class average of this, we'll do this. But I like to have a separate screen open running the same Lumio session. So whether it's my laptop on the side or my desktop, so that I'm displaying this for the whole class to see. But then when I click that little student progress button up there on the top, I can also be monitoring those students. So that's not information we necessarily would put up on the big screen, but just like you said, I sure as heck would love to see, exactly who has started and who hasn't, and who answered that question or who did that activity in 10 seconds and maybe needs to do it again.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, I don't show them this because what it's nice about it too is it just doesn't bring it. It just makes everything kind of, everybody's interacting with it, which is what I like about the different, at least all of the features of Lumio when it comes to
And
data
that activity
collection.
looks so fancy. It looks like you spent tons of time in
So
Canva, but the templates are so great that it just kind of walks you through, add a background picture, type in your text, and boom, you're done.
yeah, and thank you, Tracy. That's the other piece to do with me. But if you're like me and you have to plan, and this might seem like, oh, okay, that looks like a lot of detail. It's really once I promise, like once you kind of put your hands on it and you start moving through, it's just like clockwork. And what's nice about Lumio is the templates are the same for all of the games and activities. So all I really have to do is just go in and copy, paste, snip around, and I'll show you. I'll go into that. I can definitely show everybody just how to make one of those quickly, too, as we're going through this. But Tracy, would you like? Is it all right if I go ahead of
Yeah,
this one, or is
you are
everybody
good
still
to
working on
go.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to also see too this feature right here. This is a whiteboard, a whole class whiteboard. This is a really nice activity or a way to kind of get everybody's attention back up. Like, hey, how did you like this? Or a bell ringer or an exit ticket. I've used these as exit tickets. I think it's great. It's right on the spot. It's going over what we've learned and applying it. But you can do that. I'm gonna go on. I do talk fast, so sorry about that. But Tracy, do you want me to point out the export results or no up here?
Yeah, definitely. I think that that's important information. Do you want to talk about it?
Sure. Yeah. So what I'll do when grading comes around and even throughout the week, what's nice about Lumio is it's always collecting data, right? So these especially like the match 'em ups, I can just go ahead and export the results. They'll pop up in an Excel spreadsheet, and then I can just go through and add in extra grades throughout the week. So it's really nice for, like I said, if you need to add more grades in, or if you're like, I grade everything, I tell them that, and they know that. So
We always
they
need
always
data.
have, yeah, and the data, and it's great. It's really important. What Lumio actually allowed me to do was reteach a couple really important concepts at the beginning of the year. So I used those snapshots of where there was a gap in knowledge, and so I went back and just created activities just based around a couple vocab terms. And my class and I just spent like 25 minutes on it, and they did great. So I wouldn't be able to know that though without seeing this and without the data results that I'm able to pull from Lumio. Paperwork's great. I'm just not a fan. So this is great for anybody, and even if you are, somebody that likes to write the grades down or keep your written book, I do also that sometimes as well. The point is that the data is there. You can use it how you want to use it.
Awesome.
And the next piece is, so with history, I found that, or at least where I'm from, here in Florida and with Palm Beach County, it's social studies in general, right? So when I'm talking about history, I'm also talking about geography and economics. But what I like about Lumio is it's allowed me to bring maps to life. So Matt, instead of like, I'm good for the drawing map. We definitely do that. But then when we move into the more complicated activities or the complex activities, or to add that rigor in, these features, Lumio allows me to do that. So this is just an example of the activity that they did have on here. So I would tell them this was just a map of Egypt, and we were going about learning about trade. This right here is, so you can make all the elements editable. And before I jump, let me just back up a second. When you're building out the activity, right, you put it up in the background, and then you can just add in all of these elements. I can totally show everybody how to do that if you like, Tracy, if you want me to just kind of demonstrate the activity right here.
Yeah, I think just demonstrate the
Okay.
activity. They
Okay.
will get the teacher file, but I think so. You
Perfect.
brought in your file from probably your Google Drive or your desktop as
Yes.
an editable file so that it was recognizing all of those separate objects. So when you go to pull a file into Lumio, you'll get that option. Do I want to bring it in from my computer or my Google Drive, or I can bring in as editable from my computer and editable from Google Drive, which is going to give you the opportunity to actually make edits and add features right within inside Lumio.
Thank you. Yes, and it's funny because once you start like playing around with making these, it's really fun. Like what I like too is that, so let's say for group work, right? If you want to work in pairs, what you can do in here is, oh, I'm sorry, that's on the next page, but This right here is the open dashboard. So this is a handout. You can create a group workspace, but you can also create an individual handout. I believe if you, Tracy,
Yeah, so
correct me if I'm wrong, but
if
I
you
think,
click the magic wand, so whatever it is that you bring in, so if you want to go back to that last slide, Zach, and
yep.
so over on the left-hand side, y'all are going to see the little magic wand that's over there, down there a little bit. Yep. And so that's how you're going to be able to convert whatever activity that you bring in. So it can be anything, a PDF, PowerPoints, Google Slides, and you can go ahead and convert it to make it interactive for your students. So an individual handout, which is like what Zach just did, sorry, tongue tied as well, is what he created. So that's kind of like the same scenario as me passing a worksheet out to each one of my students. Every single student that is logged into my Lumio class is going to get their own copy of this activity. I'm going to be able to track their progress and be able to see what they're doing. I'm going to be able to give them feedback. And then our other option would be that group workspace. The group workspace, if I choose that, it takes everybody that's in my class today. It asks me as a teacher, how many groups do I want to create? And then those students would have a shared workspace. And then the whole class whiteboard means that everybody that's signed into my class right now is going to be able to move things and add things to the document.
Thank you for that. And
Yeah.
yeah, this and thanks for helping me out there with this. Is the new, I'm still learning that. What's
Yeah.
nice, what I like about Lumio too is that I'm always learning something with it. It never gets boring. And if I want to just demonstrate quickly, right? If you if you go ahead and you want to split the classroom up into groups and there's a couple kids that like to work together, you don't want working together, or if it's the case where you just want to split them up randomly, if I just hit group workspace, then everybody that's in there is going to be sorted in their own groups. So you can pick the teams if you want them to work in groups of 4, groups of 2, however many students you have, but then it'll just randomly do it. Bam, bam, bam. Everybody gets sorted into their own team. And when I say that this has been like critical in me learning classroom management, I can't stress it enough. This is exactly how I feel like it should look. It's
I
just,
love it. And
this
then
is what you're doing.
if you see that Tracy and Merritt are not allowed to work together, you can go ahead and drag one of their names to another group.
Yeah, or if they start an activity and something's going on, and you need to move something around, right? It's just
Yes,
everybody gets moved
absolutely.
around, so it's great. And this is what back to kind of Tracy, what you were saying earlier. This is what I will have on my. This actually, I'll put this on the smartboard so they can see their groups, but the management part I'll do on my laptop. So that way, if I need to move something around, the nice part is it's a quiet classroom, so I don't have to say, hey, let's stop doing whatever. I can just move somebody around and keep going on.
Absolutely.
So next I'm going to go into this was again just an activity I'm showing you that I came up with, but this was a writing activity. What I like about at Lake Worth, what we do is we team up with our ELA department a lot in social studies. So when it comes to reading and writing and expanding those skills, Lumio has been really good to help students with that as well, so they can just make their responses. And this is how this will be like. So we'll do the map first, just so I'm not getting ahead of myself. I apologize. I talk fast. But so we'll do the map first as like a group. And then what I'll do is this will be actually an individual or a paired activity usually. So they'll have their instructions right here. Usually what I'll do with this is if it is a pair, assign like, hey, you are going to do the research or you're going to do the writing, however, tasks. I like to give them a little bit of sense of independence. I think it helps them just feel like they have a little bit of control. So however they want to siphon out those responsibilities. So this is where they would just respond, right? And so whatever the prompt is, they would respond with it. And what I like too is, let's just say, I'm going to jump ahead here for reading, all right, and social studies. Again, it's the two are hand in hand, at least in my experience. So
100%.
this is going to be a handout, but let me do a teacher handout. So what I've also found with Lumio is the annotation skills. So you have all of these, like the highlights, if you want to go ahead and go over that or cross it out. It is a little different doing it without my finger, but let me just go ahead and expand this up so you can have, boom, all right. If I need a highlight, or what I like about this is in the gradual release. So if it's the I do, you do, we do, we do that at Lake Worth or in Palm Beach as well. So for instance, like this will be the I do, where I'll go over the information and highlight, and then the you do or the we do we'll annotate and highlight together, and then they apply what they've learned to the activity. So it's all, you hit all of those major points all within one platform, which is, I love it. So again, for a newer teacher too, it's I mean, awesome. So this was again just another activity that we did, the Venn diagram. So my ELA, like again, working closely with my department in ELA, we were doing a lot of work with the Venn diagrams, finding comparisons and, you know, the differences. This is another example of an editable PDF. So make this very quickly, like in Canva. And then the assignment was they had to read through and then point out what was shared, right? So that would be right here. Do Christian culture and then their culture bank, right? So they had to pull everything that they found that was similar or different between Egypt or Kush right into the Venn diagram itself. So this was, they enjoyed this. I ended up using this for just about every other civilization when doing the comparisons. But the same deal here is that if I want to go ahead and make it into a group workspace, or what I really like too is if I want to make it individual, let's just say that I really feel like this is something that I want to measure individually, I can do that as well. So again, with the teams, so what the whole idea is, you read through the prompts, you go through, you find the similarities and differences and build your Venn diagram. So that's the Venn diagram. Tracy, is there anything you want to add?
No, absolutely. So when he actually starts that workspace, go ahead and start that workspace, Zach, just so everybody on their end can see everyone that's in your session. So you see who's going to be on your team, and as the students, they're going to see in the top left-hand corner of their screen which team they are on. And Zach then is going to be able to click on each team's workspace and actually see the progress that they're doing. Zach, which team am I on? Team 2. Why don't you go ahead and click on mine on team 2, and then you'll see that I'm kind of moving things around. And you can actually pop in there and see exactly what I'm doing in live time, which is great because you as the teacher, you could actually provide them immediate feedback. Like you are in team 2's session that you can go over and annotate on the left-hand side and like give them a star or drop a little sticker into it, right? So then they know, yep, teacher is always watching us. He knows exactly what we're doing. Or if there's a group that's struggling, right, you can pull their group right up and kind of walk them through things to get them going, which is awesome.
And Tracy, you just reminded me of another feature I really like, that if I may, it's the student versus teacher, like who has the control. So if I want the teacher, like I say, all right, I'm going to give you guys control. They know they know what that means. So that means they know that they can move throughout the slides if they need to, or if they want to. What happens though, and it's happened a couple times, is like, you know, they're 8th graders, they get a little rowdy. So I'm like, all right, I got to shut it down. And it's really nice. Is it all right do you want?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So this right here is the, wait, sorry, help me out.
Yep, that one's right. The student, the one with the students, right there.
Here. Okay. Yeah, still getting used to the new setup. But yeah, this is the student. So this way you can go ahead and move throughout the screen. So even on your end, I believe right now, Tracy, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, but students can move now. If, let's say, the way that the activities are done too is they're, you know, with Lumio, it allows me to put like 3 activities together and make it 3 individual grades. So from there, I give them that independence. It gives the student a sense of independence and control, and it also allows them to interact with what they want to interact with. Because what I'll do sometimes is I'll put 4 together and just say, you pick 2, whatever it is. And so they go through and they choose which 2 they want to do. It's fine. It all is the same. It just looks different depending on the activity.
Love it. You're putting interactivity along with student choice. That is awesome. Yeah, definitely. You know, if there's content that you know that you want to cover and you want them to be following along with you. Maybe those first 5 or so slides, you're doing the teacher-led, and then at any point in time in your lesson, you can switch it to student-led when you're ready to turn it over for them to have that independence, and you can always bring it back as well.
Yep. And so yeah, that's my control. Now, this is another way to I stack these throughout the lesson. So this is what's the super sort. I love this. This is probably my favorite, one of my favorite games on here. But again, let me just open the dashboard. I'll let everybody start on this if you like. But the idea is that this would be at the end of the lesson once they've gone through the content. And let me see if I can actually, if I want to go back.
Oh man, I'm trying it. I'm not very good. It's been a long time since I taught ancient history.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm one to talk. The Venn diagram thing was funny. I was like, wait, it's but again, this shows the results, incorrect and correct, and it'll highlight what needs to maybe be worked on. But yeah, that is the super sort.
It should be. I did do it. I'm not sure. It's maybe a little behind on showing our progress.
I think so. Yeah,
yeah.
Loading.
Interesting. So. Yeah. No worries. I agree. That is one of my favorites for sure.
The other another feature I was going to highlight was fill in the blank. So this is really nice. You can build this out, and I'll pop out of here in a minute just to show you too what I do. So right here you go through. So the kingdom of Kush was located on the Nile River, became wealthy through trade and controlling gold mining routes to Central Africa. Check answers. Oh, all right. Look, I got that wrong. I make it
on purpose. Look, we don't want to do it perfect the first time. No. And same thing with this, the ease of creating this. You can take just a paragraph, copy and paste it, and put it into the template for this. And then you as the teacher click those words that you want to be down in your word bank. Because obviously we want those important academic language and vocabulary words to be down at the bottom. So as simple as copying and pasting, a couple clicks, adding his background, and it's set and ready to go as a good self-checking activity for your students. We are getting towards the end of time, Zach, and I think we're through most of your activities. If there's anything else that you want to show us real quick, and then we can hop into the last couple of slides there.
Sure. I wanted to very quickly, what did I show you earlier? Okay, so let's say that I want to do a game on the fly, right? Or let's just say there was something that in the content where I saw a couple of students were struggling. And again, when I say gaming, it's not to take away from any of the rigor. It just allows it to be fun. I mean, I love social studies, so I want it to be fun for them too. So if I'm going and, all right, I'm going to go ahead and edit sessions. So nobody should really be able to move around right now. But I hope, can everybody see my screen right now? Yep.
Okay. We can still see your screen that you're sharing. Absolutely.
If I want to add a page on here, let's just say I want to do a game-based activity. These are all the game-based activity templates. So I create, kind of like I was saying earlier, I make my lessons backwards. I create these first just based on what I'm doing. But the game show, right? So let's just say I want to do a game show. The AI is pretty great. You can use this to start your questions, and then if you need to kind of mix and match or add a little bit more, watch this, right? So multiple choice, let's just say ancient Egypt. And again, this is live for the class, so it is a little bit of downtime, but they're fine. So let's just say not too much, but right. So grade 8, let's just say 5 questions, generate. And as long as it's within the kind of the same concept that we've been learning about, sometimes I'll keep it, but this is what they look like. And how did I get the images, right? You can do a search online right here, or if you want to download some of your own images, you can pull them in by selecting right here. Whoop, there you go. So you can select your images there, but let's just say I want to do Nile River. for aesthetics. I like the students to be able to see also like what it is that they're looking at because we can't really go to Egypt. Bam. All right. Now just verify that is actually the Nile River, but then let's just say it is, right? So we're going through, finish, right? So now you have a game. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and finish editing and bam. Now what it does is, I believe, Tracy, please correct me if I'm right. You shouldn't have to rejoin.
Nope,
Right? Yeah.
we are
Okay.
already part of your class. You have that same code all the time, so we can see it right now.
All right, great. So now it's a game show. And you do the spin, right? So bam. And everybody can see this, right? Does this allow this?
So we would all be playing on our own for this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we would go ahead and go through it, which is awesome. The thing with creating, so Zach just created an AI activity, and he just put in ancient Egypt. You can always, like, to make sure that you're getting the exact content that you're looking for. He was doing it just quick on the fly to show you, but copying and pasting a standard or just writing that specific prompt to make sure that you get that academic language. And I have been super happy with any of the things that I've generated using the AI features.
Yeah, the AI is pretty great, and because it's again, like Tracy was saying, it's not something that I would use. Like, I want to make sure that it is, what I at that level, the level that I need it to be at. But my favorite part about Lumio is it gives me the template. Like, it just starts it, and then I can go in and edit it. So when I'm saying building an activity, yes, I'm building it, but it's already put into a template. And then this is so that's how you do that. May I go in and do one more, or do we?
I think we're super short on time,
Okay.
Zach.
All right.
I wish,
Okay.
because
All right.
we are all loving it. If you want to go ahead to those last couple of slides. So guys, these here are some great resources, and Ish is going to pop some of those resources into the chat over there. Just some extra ways for you to help learn about Lumio. We've got our Smart and Lumio Academy that allows you to go ahead and enroll and do some self-paced courses. And then next slide there for me, Zach.
Oh, sure.
You're going to go to the next slide there for me.
Yeah.
And Zach, I think that you became an ambassador. Am I right?
Yes. I
Okay,
did.
so super easy process, right? You just can go ahead and apply, and Ish again can go ahead and drop how to do that right in the chat there. Being an ambassador just gets you some perks, gets you access to some resources and things, opportunities to present like Zach is doing today, which he did an awesome job. And then go ahead, Zach, go to the next screen.
I'm working with a couple of screens here. Sorry, there you go.
Nope, you were good. And so, as I mentioned before, if you have not already, Zach and I are going to say cheese and smile for the camera, and we would love for you to go ahead and take a snapshot or a screenshot of the screen. Go ahead and share it on social media. Let us know what you loved about the session. And we would appreciate it. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed our session. Zach, you did an awesome job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's a couple more sessions coming up for Lumio Palooza. So if you've not had a chance to enjoy some of the other sessions, you still have time. There's a couple of sessions for the rest of the day, going on the rest of the day here. But again, thank you so much, Zach. Is there anything else you want to add before we go?
No, thank you everybody from all over the place. It was a pleasure. So I hope to see everybody again.
Awesome.
And yeah, have a great day, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.